Good evening. Hello, everyone. Day 12 of the 15-day meditation challenge on the World Yoga Festival. You've done very well to come up this far. And I hope that the repetitive nature, same time, same channel, has helped you to just regulate yourself in at least this one activity for 30 minutes, taking time out of your lives to allocate to yourself, to self-knowledge, self-learning. Now, yesterday, we tackled a very big subject. We tackled the world. Anything but me, what in Sanskrit is known as anatma. And we said that the world as we know it is not a material world. Everything that we see does not have an independent material existence of its own, is dependent as an effect on its underlying cause. And we gave the marvelous example of the table, and we concluded that the table was effectively a name and a form, a concept in our minds, which is very useful to us for us to be able to transact with the world. But eventually, if you break it down into its underlying cause, we went down from wood to fibers, to molecules, to atoms, and so forth, and all the way down to what we said was Brahman, the one single, all-pervading underlying reality, which is the basis of everything. Now, how come we are deluded into thinking otherwise? We see all the objects in the world, they're different objects. How do we see them as these apparent objects? Can we explain that at all? And slowly, Advaita Vedanta gives you some examples. And the most common example given in all the teachings of Vedanta is that one of the rope and the snake. If you've heard it before, you'll now have a smile upon your face. But the idea goes like this, that in a dimly lit alley, you mistake a rope that's on the floor to be a snake. Now, the dimness of the light represents the dimness of our knowledge, ignorance, if you like. So in ignorance, you do not see the snake for what it is. And in its place, you place something that is completely new. So two things are happening here. One, we do not understand the underlying nature of what we perceive. And in its spot, we transpose, we superimpose something that is completely different. Now, if you treat the world in this way, and for instance, somebody tells you, what color was the snake's eyes? Do you see how pointless that is? The snake never existed in the first place, let alone trying to analyze what color its eyes were. Yet all the time that we believe the snake, it has a transactional reality. It raises fear within us. Our heartbeat goes up, and we warn others not to go anywhere near it. Do you see how it's easily possible to, first of all, mistake what we see and in its place put something completely new? This is a difficult concept to get. If you think about it, how can possibly something that is material, something that appears to be solid and real, be made out of something that is non-solid and beyond our perception. It seems strange because throughout our scientific life, we've been taught that out of the single-celled creatures that first came on the earth, they gradually grew into clumps of creatures, get made more and more complex, then had a vertebrate, they became bigger and bigger, they created a brain, and these material creatures ultimately were bright enough to go, ta-da, and have consciousness. And here is Advaita Vedanta saying, no, it's the opposite. Material things did not produce consciousness. Consciousness produces material things. As I've always said, when there is a teaching coming that is completely contrary to what we've always been taught and believed, it's worthwhile to spend a moment and try and analyze it. And Advaita Vedanta says, please do. Ask the questions, and we will answer them. And it gives it through a series of examples so that we may understand through our own experience. As I've told you before, this is not a belief system to be preached. It's a knowledge system to be taught. And if we are to believe in our true sense, if we are to know in ourselves, then we must equate it to our own experience. So, where is the experience that we have of consciousness creating things? And Advaita Vedanta says, your dreams. Your dreams? Yes. When the body is fully asleep and physically you're at a stillness, the mind, the subtle body, is very much alive. And from its contents, you create a world. That world has trees, rivers and mountains, birds flying, very believable dreams. You yourself may be in there, together with friends, chatting, laughing. The very fact that you have a sky in the background with a mountain below it and a stream at your feet means that you've invented space. And to traverse that space requires time. So out of your mind, you've created what appears to be material, physical things, together with time and space. And that time and space is not by the same standards as your waking state, because you can progress in a dream, go through a whole lifetime in a blink of an eye. So you control time also. Imagine us in our simple states of being. We think we're such limited creatures, but in a dream, we create an entire world of animals, of people, of scenery, objects and situations. We cannot make anything new. We can add them together. You know about pigs, you know about birds, and therefore you can have flying pigs. But you can't invent something that you don't know. And where is that, all that dream, the content, as well as the storyline, the ability to make it, as well as the material, where is it coming from? It's coming from you. Nowhere else. From your consciousness. It is coming, and a whole material world is played out in front of you. And only when we wake up do we say, that was a dream. Because in the dream, it felt very real. And how far was the dream world from the real world? How far was the dream world from the world of the waker who's on that bed, sound asleep? No distance at all. It occurred at the same place, same location. It was the waker's mind that was creating the dream whilst the waker was dreaming. Do you see? By your own example, you're able to create perfectly feasible transactional material world built out of just pure consciousness. And let's think about that as we get ready to meditate. Far-reaching ideas. You're not to understand them fully in just these little snippets. I'm here to just expose these ideas to you, to see if there's an interest within you to learn more. And the fact that you come back day after day, or rather evening after evening, means that you are a true seeker. Are you relaxed? Is your spine straight? Is your breathing even? Have you started the relaxation exercise of your whole body, especially the parts that get knotted up, the forehead, the eyes, the shoulders, the abdomen? You're getting good at this now. It was never very difficult. It just needed learning. You notice that as new thoughts come to your mind, they're not as intense as they used to be at the beginning. And they're easier to let go of. And you can always return to the breath. If you want more, something more subtle than the breath, then become aware of your pulse in different parts of your body. If you're intense enough, you can feel your body beat. That's how quiet you become. Become aware of the magic that takes place every second of your life. All other external things could stop and you'd be fine. But these things within you keep you alive. If all the material things in the world have an underlying reality that Advaita Vedanta calls Brahman, why can't I see it? If there is only one thing, then Brahman must be all-pervading, must be infinite, must be timeless. Where can I find that in the objects in the world? Everything I come to know comes and goes. Where is immortality? Show me. There is a house. There is a car. There is my friend. There is a computer. There is a pen. All of these things come and they go. There was a time when they were not here. There's a time when they are here, and a time that they will not be. Where is the immortality in that? Listen to the sentence. There is a house. There is a car. There is my friend. There is a computer. The only thing that is common to all material things is existence, isness. In fact, I'm not conscious of anything that is not. I'm conscious of the absence of things, and I'm conscious of the presence of things. The existence of things is constant, doesn't come and go. The wood is, the table is, the chair is. If I burnt the chair, the ash is. The thing that is constant is isness, is existence. That's the only thing in the world that I can equate to Brahman. Existence itself. I am an object in the world, just like a tree or a rock. Do I have existence? Of course you do. In fact, it is the only thing you know for certain. If I were to ask, do you exist? What would you say? Of course I exist. Then I'd say, how do you know? Do you know by seeing, or smelling, or touching, tasting? No, you don't need a means of knowing. You know that you exist. Because existence is your very innate nature. I am also aware. The awareness by which things are known. The awareness by which thoughts are known. So which part of me is existence and which part of me is awareness? And the truth is, they're both infinite. You cannot have two infinite things in the world. Therefore, existence must be the same as awareness. That's what makes you special. The existence of the world and the awareness of you come together. So you're able to come to know that existence, Sat, awareness, Chit, are both the essence of Brahman, the one underlying reality. Everything else is a manifestation of it. As humans, we're the only creatures who have the ability to understand this. Through personal knowledge of ourselves. As you sit there, come to know you are all existence. You are all awareness. That is the underlying nature of you, the real you, the self. Let's bring our hands together and together chant Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Thank you, everyone. Day 12. As I said, you're doing very well indeed. Thank you for spending these evenings, these last 6 hours with me. Very valuable time, and I appreciate it. I will look forward to your company again tomorrow evening. Good night, everyone. Bye-bye.